Hi, I'm Tim from Stance, and I'd like to share with you the coconut story. There's so much confusion about what our CoolStance copra product is, so I'd like to explain. This is a coconut. It's got the outer husk, which has been taken off manually, and this is the coconut. You'll see the three eyes at the top, which you call the monkey eyes. And there is a story which is true that in the last war, the Second War, that when they ran out of plasma to put in the veins of the soldiers, they would put needles in through here, sterile needles. They would run the saline out straight into the veins. That is a true story. What I'm going to do is cut this in half, and then I'll explain to you what all the different components are inside. So I've taken the coconut and I've split it in half. I don't do this professionally as a job, so most people, they can actually cut this beautifully in half. So I've split it in half, and that's the amount of coconut water that was inside. Now, for those people who drink coconut water, they use young coconut, so a lot more water inside, and it's obviously a lot cleaner than this. This is an older coconut, so the coconut water is actually being converted into the endosperm, which is the white material in the middle. So we've now got the shell on the outside, and we've got the white endosperm or meat, or what they actually call copra. So in the countries where they produce this, they get a knife and actually cut the copra out from inside the shell. So you end up with the shell, which is then used for heating to actually dry the copra. So this is then called the copra cup, which is then sold commercially, and this contains about 70% coconut oil and about 30% copra meal, which is what we make our CoolStance from. Now it's the white meat in the middle, and it also includes the cuticle on the outside, the brown cuticle, which in the process gets hammer milled or broken down into small pieces. It doesn't contain any of the coconut shell. Now, copra meal is a brown meal, and it's brown because it's been cooked in the process to extract the oil. Now, copra meal will swell when you put it in water. That's one of the very distinctive features of copra meal. And I'll just demonstrate to you what that does. I've got 2 glasses of water here just for the demonstration. So I'll add a small amount of copra meal to each one. And what we'll do, we'll add water to one. I'll show you that the distinctive feature is that this meal will swell very quickly when you add water. And I'm going to add excess water to show you just how much this will swell. Now, one of the features with the CoolStance copra is it'll swell very quickly, and people sometimes get concerned that they think because this swells that it'll actually cause a digestive upset or choking in the horse. Now, I don't believe that's possible because the horse eats the CoolStance very slowly, and what's more, they produce a lot of saliva, so it wets very quickly. And in my experience, I've never ever heard of an issue or an observation that's been verified where a horse in fact is choked on copra meal. So you'll see just after 5 minutes that the copra meal, even though it's the same weight, it's actually swollen to almost 3 times the volume. Now remember that it's the same weight, so it's the same energy. There's absolutely no energy in the water, so don't be confused saying this has actually got 3 times the amount of feed. My point is that it swells, it absorbs a lot of water, and I'll show you tomorrow when I'm feeding my own horses how we can either feed this dry or we can feed it wet. And this is to show after 10 minutes since we last added water that it's swollen almost to the top of the glass. So it has a tremendous capacity to absorb water, and I'll talk in other videos about the absolute nutritional benefits of actually having something that will absorb so much water to improve digestion, to increase hydration, and also to increase absorption of the product.